What is going on, for your boy Finicki back with another video, and today we are going to start out with a Q&A, and this is the first Q&A that I've ever done for y'all. I usually do answer questions on twitch.tv/Finicki, which is where I stream. I do answer questions most of the time in chat, but these are going to be y'all's personal questions. If you guys did not know, I had recently asked for you guys to put questions down in the YouTube comments or on my tweet on Twitter, which, by the way, if you guys want to follow that, it's going to be in the description below, but it is twitter.com/FinickiTV. If you guys want to go and check out my tweets. I tweet almost every day, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, long story short, these are the questions that, excuse me, were either liked by a lot of people or I just thought was a really good question. So I'm going to be answering these while there's obviously a gameplay going on in the background. If you see me wearing a astronaut suit, this was because I got 500 subscribers on Twitch, and so I celebrated by doing a an actual astronaut costume suit. So if you see that and you're like, what is going on? Yeah, I don't normally wear it, but it is what it is. Anyway, without further ado, let's hop right into it. So the first question was by Ron Was Taken, or RX Hand Was Taken, and he or she asked, what or who inspired you to make YouTube content? Why are you so good? I think he was talking about the skill wise on the why you're so good, but who inspired me to make YouTube content? For those who are familiar with YouTube, I started watching it probably whenever I was 7th grade, 8th grade, and a lot of gaming content came up. I was big into Call of Duty at the time, even though Call of Duty and Halo, but Halo didn't have a lot of YouTube content, to be real, but most of the time it was just like Call of Duty, and the people that were making Call of Duty stuff was Optic Gaming, which is like Scumpy, Optic Big Timer, Nadeshot. You guys might be familiar with Nadeshot if you haven't heard of the other two. All those people, as well as like later on in my career, Courage JD has definitely encouraged or has inspired me to make more content and all that sort of stuff. But that's kind of who kind of inspired me to make YouTube videos, and the reason why I prioritize content, because realistically they make content their priority and they grew from it, and so that's kind of what I'm wanting to do now. The next question comes from AD, who says, what games did you sweat in, played pro before Apex? For a non-gaming topic, where are you located? Don't need to be specific, just wanted to add, hope you're blow up, man. You're one of my favorite Apex YouTubers. You're just humbleness, positive mixed with your high skill gameplay. Great channel, keep it up, man. It's so cool to read and really encouraging, specifically on that last part, man. It's super cool. So to answer this first part is, what games did I sweat and played pro in? Sort of. So I played Halo 3. Halo 3 was my first game that I ever really played competitive. They had an MLG playlist, which stands for Major League Gaming, and I remember as like a 6th grader, I was really into gaming. I actually went to my first tournament whenever I was in 6th grade. I went to a local tournament and placed second in Halo 3, and I lost to like a senior in college. So I beat a lot of people whenever I was in sixth grade playing Halo. I was really good. So that was like probably my first sweat game, was whenever I was pretty young, realistically. And so I've been into competitive esports for a while now. And to answer the non-gaming topic, I am located in Arkansas. I am from the 479, and that's like Northwest Arkansas, and I am a huge advocate of the Arkansas Razorbacks, even though we aren't the best in sports all the time. But man, it's great to be a hog sometimes. But yeah, that's where I'm from. Love Arkansas, been born and raised, thinking about potentially moving, but we'll see on that. But man, thank you so much for that question. The next question comes from Drew Gardner, who asks, what do you want changed most in season 6 of Apex? Which I think is a super great question, super loaded. My answer would have to be, I would like to see a new map, potentially, maybe a little bit of some changes to Revenant. I think he's a bit too strong at the moment. Maybe put a radius on his ultimate, or something, just to kind of switch it up a little bit. I think the guns are in a great place. I think the characters are in a pretty good place for the most part. I mean, realistically, they could introduce a new character, but other than that, I don't. Cross-platform, yeah, cross-platform is probably the biggest thing that I want changed because it's going to help queue times on all platforms. So that's probably it, but that's a great question, Drew. Next question comes from Christ for Life Tavares Zayas, who asks, are you a pastor? And no, I'm not a pastor. I am a Christian and pretty devout Christian, and because of that, a lot of people think I'm a pastor, but no, I'm serious about my faith, and yeah, it's a great question. So next question comes from Seabass, who asks, who is your favorite artist? And this is a changing question, probably, or changing answer every single day. I like a lot of acoustic music, which would include like Gregory Alan Isakov or the Lumineers, if you guys have heard the Lumineers. A little bit older ended stuff, as well as old-timey music like Frank Sinatra, anything from the Rat Pack, all that sort of stuff. Very old-timey. I love the feel of it. I don't know, it's a little bit slower paced, and just brings out, I don't know, something in me I just absolutely love about old music. And if we're gonna be talking about rap music right now, I really like Travis Scott for his production. I like Kanye West. I think he's great. I think old Drake, I really enjoy old Drake, and I think if I'm gonna listen to some rap songs, I think I would either go Kendrick or J. Cole. So I have a lot of influence from rap as well. And then if I'm gonna be talking about like any type of contemporary or like Christian stuff, to be honest, I do like King's Kaleidoscope, which I think is super dope. Anyway, that's all my music opinion at the current moment. Next question comes from Pops Gaming, who asks, what's your favorite pizza type and drink to accompany it? Right now, if I was to choose, I would choose Domino's thin crust pizza with a Alfredo / ranch base, with a, let's see, banana peppers, pineapple, and grilled chicken. And to accompany it, I would have a Baja Blast. And I know it only gets sold at Taco Bell, but I would go to Taco Bell and get a Baja Blast. So that is my answer to that question, and I feel like it's an undefeated question, and yes, pineapples do deserve to be on pizza. Next is going to be from Liam3156 UK, asking, taking the questions away from Apex, what is your favorite thing to do other than gaming? And my favorite thing to do other than gaming would have to be doing something outdoorsy, something active, as well as I would like to say that I don't know, my dad's an outdoorsman, and so because of that, I try to do my best to make sure that he's happy that I'm doing some sort of outdoorsy stuff. So either that, or I mean, I always said that when I was in high school, one of my favorite hobbies was to go to demolition derbies, and those happen in Arkansas like twice a year, and so I love going to those. And for those that don't know what demolition derby is, it's like old beat up cars that are in like an arena, and they just like hit each other until the cars like can't function anymore, and it's super tight, and it's really redneck, to be honest, but man, it is so fun to watch. But yeah, that's probably it. But I like watching esports as well. I like watching other games esports, so like Call of Duty. I'm okay. I understand League of Legends, like CSGO, like Valorant. I like Rocket League. I like, oh man, I mean obviously Halo. A lot of console esports, as well as, you know, PC esports, Smite, all of those games. That's what I enjoy to do in my spare time. And watching like YouTube videos. Next is going to be by Death Venom, who asked, my second question, what is the reason behind your name Finicki? And I get this question quite a bit, and man, I didn't know the answer to it until my friends recently told me about it. I was a freshman in college. I used to go by the name Avenue, AVANEW. I thought that was a really cool name, but it wasn't really that cool of a name, but it is what it is. So I was like, okay, let's change my name while I'm in college. And this was my freshman year, and somebody like suggested, hey, just look up stuff in the dictionary. And so I was like, okay. So I saw the word Finicki, and I was like, wow, that kind of sounds cool. I've heard that used a little bit in everyday life, and so let's go with that. And so I kind of went with it, and it just kind of works out. A lot of people still call me just Finn, which I'm perfectly okay with. I love the name Finn. I also, yeah, that's how I got my name Finicki. It just came through a dictionary, so that's about it. I know it sounds crazy, but it is what it is. Next is the question from Sniper Jr., who asked, how did you get into Apex? And realistically, I didn't even think that I was gonna get into Apex. I just saw it come out and I was like, wow, this is crazy, it looks cool. But for those that don't know, I have an Xbox background, and I had just only recently moved to PS4 when Apex came out, and I moved to PS4 because the Call of Duty Pro League was on PS4 and I was trying to go pro in Call of Duty. That didn't really pan out the way that I wanted it to, and so instead I saw Apex came out and there was leaderboards, and I was like, well, maybe this is something that I can look into. So then I started playing it. I realized I was pretty good at it, and I was like, all right, let's see where this could go when it comes to gaming and growing my stream as a content creator, because I was playing Fortnite, I was playing Call of Duty at the time, and then this game came out and I was like, all right, maybe this is my chance to grow. And so here we are. I started getting into Apex. I realized I was pretty good. Then I started grinding the leaderboards and realized, hey, maybe I can get there, and eventually I got to #1 Wraith in the world across all platforms. Next question comes from DJ Fresh, who asks, what is your favorite soccer team? And now this is a little known fact about me. In FIFA 14, I got to the 23rd place in the continent for FIFA in the FIFA World Cup. I was really good at the game FIFA, and one of the players that I absolutely loved using was Willian. And he is from Brazil, but he played on Chelsea, and I was like, well, maybe I should make Chelsea my favorite team. But then I started watching them and I realized, wow, I really enjoy watching this Chelsea team, and so Chelsea became my favorite soccer team. So it's Chelsea, and obviously I'm still fans. I don't really watch a lot of United States soccer, I'll be honest, but if I was to choose, let's see, in Bundesliga, obviously Chelsea. La Liga, I would choose Messi, aka Barcelona, just because of the respect for Messi. I don't really watch a lot of that. For the Italian league, obviously Juventus, used to be Milan, or yeah, Milan, or Milan, not Mulan. Let's see, and in the German league, it would be BVB. Simply because of whenever Pulisic played for them, but now he's on Chelsea, haha. But I mean, I obviously have respect for the oh man, Bayern Munich. But that's yeah, I'm big into soccer, so I like that. Good question. Next question comes from Jonah5BJJ, asking, what jobs did you do before streaming in college? So my first job that I ever worked at was at a snow cone stand, and I worked there for the summer before college, just because I was been playing sports throughout my whole entire career of high school, and then I was like, you know, I need a job for the summer, so then I went and worked at a snow cone stand. It was pretty cool, pretty lit. I got a snow cone for free every day, but man, it was an interesting job to say the least. And I did go to college. I went to college at the University of Central Arkansas, and I graduated with a communication degree and a minor in business management. And here we are doing that right now, communicating and me managing my own business. So that's what I did for college and what my jobs did before I did streaming, as well as right out of college, I worked for my friend at a cabinet shop, as well as I did digital media, doing commercials / wedding videos / like anything that anybody needed for digital marketing. I knew how to edit and did some stuff for them. But yeah, that was all my stuff. So the last question I'm going to answer is by Layers, who asked a really great question of what is your main goal in life, and that is a freaking loaded question, and I love that. So I think probably the first thing that my main goal in life is to represent my life in a positive way, and honestly what represents Christ in the best way possible. Being nice to people and being the best that I know how, working hard and achieving a goal, whatever I put in front of me. Like when that comes to gaming stuff, I would have to say, like, I wanted to make sure my content is brand friendly, sponsor friendly, like family friendly, to be honest. And it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily aiming at like kids as my main like source of audience, but mainly just like, hey, you know, if a brand wants to approach me and a deal, like they look at my content and they know that there's nothing crazy that's going to come out of it. I would love to get married one day, of course, and like have some kids, but I mean, for now it's just like hard work and putting in the best I know how to be a content creator, to create content for y'all and to make y'all happy the best way I know how. And yeah, I don't know, Layers, that's a really good question, and I think that there's a lot of layers, haha, your name's Layers, to it. But for now, I think that's probably my answer to it. Just gonna continue to keep growing, keep working hard to try to be the best that I know how. But yeah, thank you for asking that. So that's gonna do it with all of my Q&A stuff, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you did, if you enjoyed it, make sure you guys hit that like button and comment and tell me what you think down below. If I didn't answer a question, I am so sorry. Thank you for asking it. It may have been that I actually didn't see it, or what. Like, there's a lot of different factors that could have gone into it. So I'll be doing another one, so make sure that you guys stick around and get ready for that whenever that comes around. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy Finicki signing out, blasting off. Hope to see you again for another video. God bless. Deuces, baby.